not ready. You can't drive police vehicle. You're not ready. Let me show you how you deal with it. You're not ready, dog. Come.
So right now, well fresh out of the over, man shot dead. St. John's Road, we talk about Spanish Townsend catching. Criminal elements pounced up and deal with the youth. Drastic. Leak out in blood. What may I tell you? The bloodshed continues. Soon as we get some more information, we talk about identity. We'll let you guys know what is going on. Boy, may I tell you, it's rough.
They want you to visualize it. There's a man up there by the name of Peter Gallimore who's known as Kepha. His job is to instill in your mind that these two men is Yahshua HaMashiach. In other words, these two men is Jesus Christ. So when you pray with the image of them in your mind, praying, because they stand before the throne, and whatever they say, that is what goes. So where the young ladies are concerned, the parents have no say. It doesn't matter what they say, what they do, or what they try. They cannot defeat what needs to be done when they decide to make a move upon any female up there.
Were you abused? Were you beaten? Because we have heard a lot of that about people being beaten there. What was your initiation like?
My part of it, where that is concerned, is that I was a person who cannot just come to me with anything or say things to me that I know is not true. I get very emotional and I will rally up. The first time something was said and I stand against it, Javon Thompson started speaking in tongues and held me by my shirt and would push me back and forth as if he's punching me in my chest. That was the first time that hands was laid on me. The next time that they did that was another time when I wanted to go home to Spot Valley, because at that time I was not staying at the compound. So my wife and I wanted to go to our home, and she was pregnant about a month or two. And he didn't want us to leave. He wanted everybody to stay on the campus. And when he asked, why are you going home? I said, because we want to go home and to go get some rest and so forth. Little did I know, in his mind, he asked me and said, is it that you want to go home and have sex? And I said, what is that to you? What do you mean if I want to go home and have sex? I said, I just want to go home. Then he said to me, is this a part of why you want to go home? So I said, yes, that will eventually happen, but that has nothing to really do with you. He wanted me to stay on the campus and go and lay in his room with my wife to have sex there. The minute
He wants you to have sex in the compound with your wife so he can look?
I don't know if he wanted to look. It must be that he wanted to look. But that is where they developed this thing now where they share room for persons to go and lie with their partner if they want to have sex.
So you have like a communal area where partners can just have sex around each other?
So there's actually a space, a little room that is built there where every single person go and lie and have sex on the same bed, same little house there.
But do they have more than one person, maybe 2 couples or 3 couples having sex at the same time?
No, they don't have that. It was private in the sense where you and your partner alone will go and lie with each other alone. It wasn't of a sense where person was involved and so forth. So to clarify upon a question that was asked concerning the beating upon, at this point he then called his brother Omar Thompson, Peter Gallimore, and a few other leaders, and they came and surrounded me and my wife. She was about 2 months pregnant, and he started to speak and pretty much fueled the fire. And Peter Gallimore was also speaking and fueling the situation that was at hand. And there was a guy by the name of Benaya, who his right name is Neil Spence, who they had doing mostly the beating and hitting every single person. So he came there and Javon Thompson started to hold my shirt again and pulling me back and forth with that type of aggression. And Neil started speaking in tongues, and they just start going crazy with, you know, talking in different language. And Neil started to kind of tap my wife on her shoulder and screaming in her face, you know, and he went behind her and slapped her in her back. And when he slapped her in her back, she was pregnant and she started to bleed from that incident, and she almost fell forward and, you know, hurt herself. And Javon Thompson, being the former leader or the main leader, him and his brother Omar Thompson stood there and made a barrier of line around me and my wife and watching the things that was being done. And then he called his wife Melisha Thompson, known as Shafat, up there, and he said, look, you remember what I told you? This one here, he doesn't see the vision. He doesn't see the vision. Remember when I told you he doesn't see the vision? And she said, yes, Charles, yes, Charles. And she went back and sit down with her son and her daughter, comfortable in her house, while my wife and I was out there being brutalized by Javon Thompson, Omar Thompson, and Peter Gallimore, who was standing